Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to Managerial Economics BBA second year. In this session, we are going to discuss about the syllabus tour. Hello, this is Professor Fuzail from Fuzail Pro. So, welcome to Islamia College, Department of Business Administration. Congratulations for being promoted to second year. It's really interesting, surprising, inspiring, astonishing, and awesome. Whatnot. The course or subject wish list we are going to discuss now. Number one, the basics. Number two, objectives of the course. Number three, the course contents. Number four, course outcomes. And number five, course reference sources. Coming to the basics, the title of the course, or previously we call it as subject, is Managerial Economics. It is an allied paper. It is not a core or main paper. It is related to economics department. Since it is connected with business, we are learning this subject. So it is called as allied paper. And this paper has 4 lecture hours per week and you will get 4 credit points. The code of the paper is U8BAAL32. The course objectives. What is the aim, the purpose, why this course is included in BBA? That is course objectives. So basically, the objective of the course is to know, the student must know the basic foundations or the concepts or principles as well as the applications of economics to business. Although economics is allied paper, but still it is connected to business, so we must learn about economic concepts. Though not all the concepts, but those concepts which are applicable in business. Now coming to the course contents, there are 5 units as usual that should be completed in 50 hours. For example, this is 1 hour. Likewise, the entire chapter course must be completed in 50 hours. We'll discuss in detail later. Now coming to the course outcomes. What is expected from the course? That is called as course outcomes. At the end of the course, students are expected to be able to recall, write, as well as apply in personal and business life. Whatever the economics concept you have learned, we expect you to recall when required, to write in the examination, as well as to apply in practical business and personal life. Now coming to the end, the sources where we can get the knowledge about managerial economics. This course, you have textbooks, you have study materials, both available online and offline. So you can go to any content at your ease. Now moving on to the main thing, that is the various units or the various contents of managerial economics. The first unit is consist of economics as well as managerial economics. It's the introduction. So before you go to the managerial economics, first you learn the basics of economics, because managerial economics is like a branch end of economics. It is extract from economics. So this unit consists of topics like definition of economics, important concepts of economics, because whenever you start with any course or subject, first you learn about the definition, because definition is something like a root that will give you everything about the subject. And the important concepts, the various concepts, terminologies, terms that may be a little bit difficult for you, but still interesting. So important concepts of economics. For example, you have a law of demand, law of supply. These are the concepts are there. You have money value concepts. All this you'll learn in this topic. Next, basic economic problems. Economic has so many valuable principles, but still uh, There are concepts which cannot be applicable in business, or there are exceptions. Next, relationship between micro and macroeconomics. Micro, that is immediate economic, which is surrounding you, your business, and macroeconomics are like distant economics, which are little bit away or which is out of control. You cannot control, rather you have to change, you have to module your business accordingly. Next, coming to our topic, managerial economics. First, you learn about the meaning and definition of managerial economics. As the name says, it is made up of management as well as economics. That is, application of economics into management is called as managerial economics. Next, you have nature and scope of managerial economics. This is very important. Nature shows you the character, or the features of managerial economics, how a managerial economics looks like, or how you can identify it, how you can describe it. That is the nature. Now, coming to the scope of managerial economics, what are the various topics or various activities covered, and what is the limitation of managerial economics will be covered in scope of managerial economics. And next one is objectives of the firm. Why a firm or a company or organization or business is started? What are the objectives? And what is the primary and what is the secondary objective? Moving on to the unit 2. It is made up of again two topics. One is demand analysis, another one is utility analysis. So demand is the need in the need of a product or service in the market. That is called as pre-consumption. Whereas utility analysis, utility is a usage, that is post consumption, after buying a product, how consumers use and what are the various decisions related to post consumption we will discuss in utility analysis. Now, this unit 2 consists of theory of consumer behavior, because consumer is the king in the market and we must learn the behavior, the mindset, and the various culture and activities of consumer. So meaning of demand, here we are going to discuss about the definition and meaning of demand. And law of demand tells you the various formula why demand increases. There are various assumptions, it can be true or sometimes false, but still there are so many assumptions of law of demand, so many formula you can calculate demand. The next one is types of demand. What are the different types or kinds of demand? And determinants of demand, it is like a factors or why, how demand increases, what are the various things that will affect the demand, that will make the demand to increase or that will make the demand to decrease. Next, elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand tells you the ratio or the relationship between demand and other factors like price, supply, advertising, all these things. And finally, you have demand forecasting, because demand analysis is calculating the present demand, whereas demand forecasting is predicting or calculating the future demand. Although we cannot exactly tell you what will happen in the future, but still you can, with your experience, you can calculate certain things and you can be pre-planned. That is demand forecasting. Now moving on to unit 3, you have production analysis and cost analysis. So production, as you know, it is a process of converting raw material into finished goods. You have certain raw material, certain materials or things. When you apply certain formula, when you do some work on it, it becomes a product that customers like. Whereas cost is expenditure to do the production. It could be even before production and after production, but cost involves all those expenditure that to make a product, to sell a product, or even to promote a product or service. So this unit consists of production and cost analysis, the various law of returns to scale. So again here, law is a kind of formula or assumptions of returns to scale, and here scale means the volume of production or sales. Next one is economies of scale. Again here scale means the volume or amount or quantity, and here economy, it is not economics, it is economy. Economy here means inexpensive, or in our language you can say it is cheap. How you can increase or reduce the expenditure, that is called as economies of scale. Simply defining, when you produce more product, automatically the expenditure will come down. When you produce less products, so it will result into high cost. This is called as economies of scale. Next one is the cost analysis. Here we'll discuss about different cost concepts and cost and output relationship. Here output means production. As already I told you, there is a relationship between production and expenditure. The more you produce, the lesser the expenditure. Next, you have short run and long run costs. The expenditure will not be same in the short run and in the long run. For example, for when you produce a product for continuously for 1 year, the expenditure may be little bit higher. Whereas in a long run, for example, when 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, when you do something, naturally you get lot of economies of scale. That is, you can reduce cost. The cost will be lesser and it will be different from short run. Revenue curves of firm. Here we'll discuss various diagrammatical representation of income of business. And finally, supply analysis. Supply here means the availability of product or service in the market. So now you say in the pandemic, customer expect certain products, like you have online products, offline products, but the supply is less due to the various kind of lockdowns. Moving on to unit 4, market structure. So here market doesn't represent only the area where customers and buyers meet. Here market is actually, it is about both buyers as well as sellers. So this market structure tells you the different competition in the market, uh, whether it could be a customer side or it could be a seller side. Simply, the more the seller, customers, they have the power, they become the king. Whereas in the case when the sellers are less, one or two, then the sellers become the king, they have the power to control the market. So this chapter, this unit consists of market forms, different forms of market structure, the basis of market classification, which is made up of one is perfect competition or pure competition, one category. Another category, you have imperfect competition. So here in the perfect competition, you will have large number of buyers and sellers. The competition will be like balanced, there won't be any unbalance. Both customers as well as sellers, they have some kind of balanced power and control in the market. And whereas in the monopoly, the sellers could be one or it could be very less. In this case, the seller, they have the control in the market, they can fix the price, they can change the product. customer has to Customers have to accept the product. Monopolistic competition, that involves fewer buyers, fewer sellers. In the monopoly, you have only one seller. Like for example, in India, you have railway. There is only one railway. Whereas in the monopolistic competition, you have very few, very countable sellers. Like you have Amazon, Flipkart. Online, you have very few, top sellers. Whereas in the duopoly, you have double, two sellers. And again, oligopoly, you say one or two sellers. And finally, price determination. Based on the competition, based on the market structure, the price of a product or service is fixed. Unit 5, that is the last unit, pricing methods and strategies. Pricing methods and strategies, here again discusses about how the price is fixed and what are the different strategies are there, and how the manufacturers or sellers, they control the price. This unit consists of pricing methods and strategies, objectives, why they have these kind of strategies, what is the purpose behind this, the objectives, Factors involve various determinations. What controls the price, or what affects the price? Suddenly you see a product price is increasing or decreasing, example the gold rate, or the share market, or it could be any product. There are certain factors behind those price changes. And general consideration, when you fix a price you have to consider certain things. Being a businessman or manager, you must consider certain points before fixing a price. Methods of pricing, what are the different methods you have, like market rate, cost plus rate, etc. There are different methods of fixing a price. You have to make sure that the price you fix will give you profit. It should be above the cost. And the role of government in pricing, in certain cases the government interferes in pricing. Example, agricultural product, the government in favor of farmers, they fix certain amount as price. It could be minimum price, it could be a maximum price. Like you next to you have dual pricing, you have double pricing, and finally you have price discrimination. So here in the price discrimination, you fix one product different price for different customers. Example, you can check in Amazon or Myntra, any online website. So the price will keep changing depending upon your the way you buy, or depending upon your income level, your expectation, the price will automatically change. This is called price discrimination. So that's all for the day. Stay tuned until next episode. And finally, let me tell you, please stay home, stay safe, and do wear mask, do wash hands. So distance yourself physically, you connect yourself virtually. So thank you very much for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to Zil Pro. Thank you, one and all.